They're isolated, like they're a fringe voice. We're the mainstream. There's a war going on in our country as they continue to flood our nation. It's all of our freedoms that are at risk here.
Tommy Robinson's latest remarks about SADIQ Khan spark major public debate. You're not going to believe what's going viral right now. A new clip featuring Tommy Robinson has just reignited one of Britain's most heated conversations. And this time, it's not about protests, or censorship, or the media. It's about London's leadership, and whether the public still trusts what's happening inside City Hall. What he said about Mayor SADIQ Khan has split the internet wide open again. Some are calling it the truth nobody else dares to say, while others are slamming it as another example of reckless rhetoric. But one thing's for sure, people are watching. Millions of them. So what exactly did Robinson say, and why has it struck such a nerve? It happened earlier this week during one of Robinson's live stream broadcasts. He was discussing London's crime rates, cultural divisions, and what he described as the failure of political elites to listen. Then, he mentioned Mayor SADIQ Khan by name. Robinson claimed that Khan's leadership has ignored the everyday Londoner, accusing him of focusing more on image than action. Now, before we go further, let's make something clear: these are his opinions, not verified facts. And that distinction matters especially in today's media climate. But the way Robinson delivered his message, passionate, emotional, and straight to camera, made it go instantly viral. In under 24 hours, the clip had been viewed over 2 million times across TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube Shorts. Supporters said he was finally speaking truth to power. Critics said it was another attempt to divide. And just like that, the political temperature in Britain shot up again. Let's be honest, this isn't the first time Tommy Robinson and SADIQ Khan have clashed, at least ideologically. Khan, as the first Muslim mayor of a major Western capital, represents diversity, progress, and a global outlook. Robinson, on the other hand, represents a wave of working-class frustration, people who feel left behind by politics and silenced by the media. That tension has existed for years. But right now, with the cost of living crisis, growing public frustration, and deep political division, Robinson's comments landed in fertile ground. He's tapping into something bigger, a sense that people aren't being heard. And when he says things like, "The government doesn't speak for us anymore," even those who don't agree with his views can recognize the emotional charge behind the statement. In politics, timing is everything. And Robinson's timing, whether deliberate or not, was perfect. The response from political figures was swift. One Labour MP called his remarks dangerous and deliberately provocative, warning that public figures have a responsibility not to inflame tensions. Meanwhile, some conservative commentators quietly admitted that Robinson was touching on real frustrations, even if his delivery was controversial. A well-known talk show host said, "You can hate the messenger, but sometimes you can't ignore the message. People are angry, they feel unheard, and politicians need to take that seriously." It's a pattern we've seen before. In the UK, and even across the world, controversial voices say what many are thinking, but few are willing to say out loud. And that creates a kind of power vacuum, one that mainstream politicians are still struggling to fill. As always, social media turned it into a digital battlefield. Under one version of the clip, a top comment read, "Finally someone says it, London isn't what it used to be." Another fired back, "This isn't honesty, it's hate disguised as truth." And the replies? Thousands deep. Within hours, hashtags like #SADIQ Khan, #Tommy Robinson, and #free speech were trending. Podcasts picked it up. YouTube channels dissected it frame by frame. Even international outlets began to cover it, spinning it into a story about the state of free speech in Western democracies. It's a classic cycle: outrage, amplification, and algorithmic fuel. Here's where things get even more interesting. This debate about freedom of speech, identity, and leadership isn't unique to Britain. People are asking the same question. Where's the line between truth and division? One political commentator said, "Every country has voices that push boundaries. The challenge for democracy is deciding how to engage them, not erase them." That's the bigger picture here. This isn't just about one man's comment. It's about who gets to shape national conversations and how those conversations get filtered by platforms and politics. So, what did Mayor Khan have to say? As of now, he hasn't directly addressed Robinson's remarks. But his office released a short statement emphasizing that London's diversity is its greatest strength, and that fear and division will never define the city. That's a classic Khan move, calm, measured, and focused on unity. And politically, it's smart. He knows that engaging directly would only amplify the controversy. So instead, he's playing the long game, letting the storm pass while reminding Londoners what his administration stands for. Still, you have to wonder how much these viral moments shape public perception, because in today's political world, a 10-second clip can do more than a 10-year policy. If there's one thing this whole saga shows, it's that we're living in the era of emotion. Facts matter, yes, but feeling drives engagement. And Tommy Robinson, whether you agree with him or not, understands that better than most. He doesn't need to hold office to influence politics. He just needs attention, and right now, he's getting plenty of it. Sadiq Khan, by contrast, represents stability, governance, and diplomacy, the very things that rarely go viral. In a media world built on outrage, that can be a tough balance to hold. So what's next? Probably more debates. More sound bites. More lines drawn in the digital sand. But beneath the noise, there's a serious question every country is facing right now. How do you protect open speech without turning it into open conflict? And maybe that's the real story here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.